We are back with a brand new video. What is good, Heat Nation? Hopefully you guys slept well after the Nikola Jovic draft selection from the Miami Heat, because we do have some new rumors to get to. According to Bet Online, Kevin Durant has the highest odds to join the Miami Heat if he was to be traded from the Brooklyn Nets. So we're going to be talking about the possibility of that happening. So make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are new, and comment down below what your thoughts are about the Kevin Durant saga, the Kyrie Irving saga, some more free agents slash trades that you would like to see the Miami Heat pursue. We are very close to 2,000 subscribers. We are at, I think we're only 80 away. So yeah, let's get there as soon as possible. And then lastly but not least, go hit up my second channel in the pinned comment. I just dropped a video where I graded every first round pick of the draft. So if you guys are interested in that type of content, go hit that link in the pinned comment. But yeah, let's get right into it without further ado, man. So Kevin Durant. This came out of left field. Obviously, this started off with the Kyrie Irving rumor, where apparently the Nets have given Kyrie Irving an ultimatum to sign his extension by, I think, Wednesday or Thursday of this week, because talks have stalled over the extension. And Kyrie said that if he doesn't, sign the extension, then he wants to be traded to one of 6 teams or one of 5 teams, which includes the Miami Heat on that list. And well, I'm just gonna say, first of all, the Brooklyn Nets don't have to listen to what Kyrie's asking them to, because like, why would I listen to a guy who's not signing an extension with us? And on top of that, he has the audacity to give us an ultimatum of 6 teams that he wants to get traded to. Nah, we're gonna trade you to a team of our choice. That's what I think the Brooklyn Nets will do. I don't think the Brooklyn Nets will, agree to Kyrie's wants and trade him to a team that he wants to go to. Even like, unless like the team is offering them a very good trade package, I just don't they'd see any reason for the Nets to oblige by Kyrie's request when he hasn't done anything for them. He's bailed on them. Last season he basically gave up on the team. This season he's giving up on the team. Like, he's just not, worth listening to for his trade requests, especially with the Brooklyn Nets. He's not like he's a Nets legend. But Kevin Durant now apparently is uncertain about his future with the team. If Kyrie Irving leaves, there is a possibility that Kevin Durant might request a trade. And if he requests a trade, the Miami Heat, according to Bet Online, and this comes from Anthony Chang, who's a Heat reporter, is number 1 to land Kevin Durant. They're the number 1 odds to land Kevin Durant in a trade. Now, we got to talk about what kind of package that this would entail, because this is not about giving up Tyler Hero. You can say bye to Tyler Hero anyway, but this is probably giving up Bam Adebayo as well. And that's where you got to be like, is it worth giving up Hero, Bam, obviously Duncan Robinson's contract, and then probably some more picks and swaps to make this happen in order to have a big 2 of Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler? That's where you got to ask yourself that question, and you got to see, whether it's worth giving up those guys. Honestly, let me know down in the comment section below, because I understand both sides. There's one side that's like, yo, like, we gotta, get Kevin Durant on the team. Like, Bam is cool, but like, KD is KD, and like, KD's like such a good player. Him and Jimmy, like, offense would be ridiculous. And then there's another side, which is probably the side that I'm on, where it's like, like, our team was actually not that far last season. I just don't think that it's worth trying to trade a lot of pieces and blowing a lot of stuff up in order to get Kevin Durant on your team, when you're losing your best rim protector, you're losing your best defender, you're losing I just don't think people understand what Bam brings to our team. Like, he's very, very important and impactful to what we do, like, on both ends. I know the aggressiveness is a big question mark with him, but like all the other stuff, like his screen assists, his rim protection, switching onto the perimeter, catching lobs, running in transition, like playmaking. Like, he does so much for this team, and I just don't know how you're going to replace him if you don't trade him for another big. And Kevin Durant is not, he's a power forward / small forward, but he's not a big, you know what I'm saying? Like, who's going to be the center then? And to people who are saying that you can have anybody playing at center, I just don't think it's going to work. Although KD and Jimmy are very offensively talented, it's like, what does the rest of the team look like? Because you're basically trading everybody away for him. You barely have cap space because you have 2 guys who are on max / supermax contracts, and you're gonna have to fill out the rest of the roster with a bunch of minimum players. I would be more on the side of keeping Bam and keeping Jimmy, and then trying to use Hero, Robinson, a couple of picks, and probably Yurtseven in a trade package to get Beal, Mitchell, Like someone like that, someone in that mold. Like I'm still trying to, I'm not moving on from the fence that I want to talk to the Utah Jazz and ask them, what we can get for what we have to give up for Donovan Mitchell, because I would much rather trade. Although KD's a much better player, I just don't think it's worth giving up all that, because the whole purpose of bringing KD to the team is to, bring him to a championship contender and a team that's favored to win the championship. But like trading Bam away and trading all those, all these assets away for him, I think reduces their chance. Even though he's a really good player, you're losing a lot of, complementary pieces around you. And like Bam is a very integral piece. I want to see Jimmy and Bam on the same team next season. I want to see both of them along with another scorer rather than just Jimmy and KD or Bam and KD or like one or the other, because I think that makes our team better, because you have both of them and then you add another scorer, whether it's like he might not be KD's caliber. Like Donovan Mitchell's obviously not as good as KD, but like Donovan Mitchell, Jimmy, and Bam, I think is better than Jimmy Butler and KD. Like that's my philosophy. So obviously, if the Brooklyn Nets say we don't want Bam or like we don't need Bam, then you do it. But there's no way the Brooklyn Nets are not going to ask for Bam. This is Kevin Durant, bro. This dude is a top 3, top 5, whatever you want to call it, NBA player. He's an all-time great Hall of Famer. Like you're gonna ask for some stuff, and you're gonna have to be prepared to give it up if you want to trade for him. So although I love Kevin Durant, he's probably like my favorite player. He's one of my favorite players outside of the Miami Heat, probably second behind like Devin Booker. I just don't know I just don't know if it's worth it giving up that much for just Jimmy and KD. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully you guys understand what my thought process is. I don't want to sound delusional on this because it's Kevin Durant, bro. I don't want to sound like an idiot, but like I would much rather have Jimmy, Bam, and then a third, like a scorer like a Mitchell or a Beal, someone of that caliber, than just Jimmy and KD. If you guys understand. So although I would love Kevin Durant on Miami, I just don't think it's gonna happen. Because I don't think Pat Riley will be willing to give up Bam or Jimmy in a trade. And I think you got to focus on other options. Like the Kyrie Irving situation is very intriguing. I think he's gone. I just don't think he's going to go back to Brooklyn. And that opens up the door for the Heat to try to trade for him. Apparently, the Lakers are very interested. This is according to a Woj. The Lakers are very interested, and then apparently the Clippers, the Mavs, and the Knicks have no interest, and the Heat have little interest. That's a quote from Woj. Apparently, I didn't really watch the what he said, but I just saw it on Twitter, and it was from Woj, like it was verified and stuff. So, obviously he didn't put it out there, but like someone put it out saying that it was from Woj, and everyone was like, "Yeah, it's from Woj." So, I mean, I'm guessing what he said has some truth behind it, that the Lakers are very interested. And like the Lakers should be interested. They suck right now. Like obviously they would have the most interest in Kyrie because they basically have nothing to lose. Their team was in the play, like not even in the play-in, and that Kyrie Irving, although like he brings a lot of baggage with him, like the Lakers could use a guy like that for sure. And he's played with LeBron before. Like I would understand why the Lakers have the most interest, but like I just don't know what they have to give up. Like, are the Brooklyn Nets taking Russell Westbrook back? Like Taylor Horn Tucker? What assets do the Lakers have to make this trade happen? I guess when Kyrie requests a trade or something, like his value goes lower because he's on the market. But still, I just don't think the Lakers have the pieces to make that work. I think the Heat have the pieces, but it's just a matter of whether they're interested or not. The Clippers, the Knicks, the Mavericks, those are all interesting as well. So Kyrie, you could go after him. I would still go after like a Mitchell. Probably, I think Mitchell will be my number 1 target, and then Beal would be like a number 2, and then you would go look at a Kyrie if you can't get one or the other, because I think Beal situation is up in the air. He's 50-50 apparently. This is from Quentin Mayo, who's like a Wizards reporter, so I'm guessing he knows what he's talking about. It doesn't make sense to me because he said like a while ago that he was already made up his mind as to what he wants to do, but apparently he's split because he doesn't know whether he wants to leave Washington or whether he wants to go to a contender. I heard T-Mac say that he should go to Miami on the Wizards on NBC Washington or something. But I would trade for Bradley Beal for sure. I think it just makes it harder because I don't know if he opted out or not. They said that he declined his player option, but he kind of like posted a cryptic tweet about it as soon as that news broke out. So I don't know what the whole situation is with him. But I would go after a Mitchell or a Beal before a Kyrie. And then the whole KD thing, like I said in the beginning, it's like I would love KD on Miami, but I just don't think it's worth giving up, you know, all that, just to have Jimmy and KD and a bunch of, you know, minimum guys, if you guys get what I'm saying. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. It's very interesting. You know, the Heat have a lot of work to do in the offseason. We'll see what happens, man. I'm very excited for free agency and summer league, and I will be covering it. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below.